There's just one a point in this week's parsha that is a very powerful idea that I like to point out. It could be I've even said it here in the past at this year or this year together. It was a very powerful idea from the parsha, and we see it come up in a couple of different places. So we'll see what we can see. But it's a very strange Gemara. It seems Gemara in Bava Basra. The Gemara talks about the beginning of Sefer Eov when the Satan is talking to Hashem. And they're talking, and Satan says, there's no true servants of Hashem out there. And Hashem says, well, what about Eov? And then the Satan goes on. But in that Gemara it says that it was compared. There's nobody out there like Avram Avinu. There's no servant of Hashem out there like Avram Avinu. That even though you promised him, I'm going to give you this land, still he had to pay out 400 shekel kesef, in order to buy Maras Machpelah. And he didn't have any tainas on Hashem. He didn't question God. Okay, so
he sort of insisted.
I'm sorry.
He didn't have to pay.
Well, I understand, but the point is that he was there having to negotiate with these people and having to deal with them when Hashem said, "This is my land," and now my wife is here, not buried, and I have to deal with this. So, Victor Neventhal asks a different question on this, and he says that I hear that this is but what about the fact that he said that Kiv Yitzchak v'Karel Zera, and he told him to kill Yitzchak? How can that be bigger than the Akedah that the Satan is pointing on this point, and the Gemara is pointing out this idea that this is the place where Abraham really shines, and you would really think that the Akedah was the real point.
Moment.
So he brings out a very, very powerful point, and I've said this over many years in school. Many years this Shabbos we have a Shabbaton, and so this is an idea I speak out a lot because it's like a really fundamental idea in Avodas Hashem that we see from Avraham Avinu in this idea. And let's put this into perspective over here. I always tell the following story in this context. Let's say of a person who it was Yom Kippur, and he had a really very bad interpersonal situation with somebody else, and he really worked on himself, and in between Mincha and Ne'ilah, he goes over to this person and he says, you know what, I'm mochel you, and you know what, I'm sorry for what I did. I recognize I was wrong, and please, I want to, and they hug, and wow, they wake up, and he goes into the Ila, and he's all crying and emotional. He feels like he's so close to Hashem, and his feelings and a whole different thing. He overcame this tremendous nisayon, and he feels this tremendous closeness to Hashem. And then he goes home, and he's ready to go home in his kittel and his talis, and he's holding a siddur and all these things. And he goes home, opens the door, honey, I'm home, right? And his wife is dead on the floor in the kitchen, right? How would a person like that feel? Like, what do you mean? After this ne'ilah, after this tremendous closeness, after this thing, this tremendous high, and he comes home and he wants to share that, and his wife is there. How would he feel? Rejected by Hashem, and all these things, and why me? And it'd be a tremendous challenge for a person. And then you think about it, right? You never thought about this before, right? We heard the story of since we're children, right? That's exactly what happened to Avraham Avinu, right? He goes to the Akedah, he beats this test, he wins this test, this unbelievable challenge of the Akedah. Who can imagine such a thing? And he goes home and he doesn't even see Sarah again, right? He never had a chance to say goodbye, right? He comes home and Sarah's dead on the floor, and he says, Rav Neventhal says that, and through that all, go hear Achamidosecha. Right? He never questioned Hashem. Never questioned Hashem.
He's very real.
So many times we feel, like Hashem's pushing me away, or I try to do something and I succeed at it, and then I get hurt for it afterwards. I was like, oh, you see what they got me? Oh, that's what you wanted, Hashem. I don't know about you. I feel this way. I don't know if no one's nodding here, but I feel this way sometimes. You see this also by Yosef, right? Yosef, the same thing. This I've definitely pointed out here before. That this Rav Moshe David Valley says. Also, I never thought about this. My whole childhood knowing the story. But Yosef also, he beats the biggest nisayon of his career, right? What's that? Eshes Potiphar. The woman's been trying to seduce him for months and months, all these things.
And ends up in the slammer.
Yeah, he beats this thing. Hashem, aren't you so proud of me? Now I guess you're going to vindicate me. Boom, goes to jail,
11 years.
And that's why Chazal say, that's Yosef. Because he didn't question. So that's the difference between the avos. That's the difference between tzaddikim. And people who are fazed by what Hashem throws their way. Right? We expect it to go quid pro quo. We expect it to be that if we're good, so Hashem will be good. But it doesn't work that way. And this, we've said this year a lot of times. The way that Das Tfunos puts it, the Ramchal in the Sefer Das Tfunos, that the ultimate madrega of Avas Hashem, is this idea that to serve Hashem b'hashva achas b'chol midu shumodid bo. Anything Hashem throws your way, don't read into it. Don't say, "Oh, Hashem is doing this to me. He's pushing me away." He's doing it. No, we have no idea. We don't know when it's coming as a punishment. We don't know when it's coming to make a tikkun in the world. We don't know when it's coming to. We have no idea what Hashem's cheshbonos are.
Don't judge Hashem.
Yeah, exactly. And one of my rebbeim put it to me once. He said, we can't scratch the surface of quantum physics, right? Which is the physical world. We're going to try to now understand Hashem's cheshbonos when He makes me lose my job after I was Moser Nefesh. In order to keep halacha, we can't judge Hashem when it comes to these things. And the true Eved Hashem is a person, like Chazal say, whatever He throws our way, just keep doing our work, keep doing our avoda, keep doing what we have to do.
Keep your head down.
Keep at it. Just keep at it. And I think we see this week's parsha also. This is an interesting idea. I just saw this, this year, or put this together this way this year. But we know Eliezer gets kind of like a bad rap in Chazal. Eliezer is in the Psukim. He seems like a big tzaddik. He's the servant of Abraham, and he's like his main talmid, his main student, and all these things. And yet, when Eliezer suggests, maybe if I can't find a wife for Yitzchak, maybe, Ulai, Yitzchak can marry my daughter. And Avram says, "No, you're cursed, and I'm blessed." At the Arav Baruch, in Baruch, in the Stadik of Baruch, there's no connection, and that.
And this is the nicest man they ever lived.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So Eliezer gets like a very good. Now, it happens to be that in Moshe David Valley, he doesn't read Eliezer this way. He holds very, very highly from Eliezer.
Well, because he takes it on the chin.
Well, no, you'll see. Yeah, exactly. You'll see the second. Yeah, but he always speaks about Eliezer as a very, very big tzaddik.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but what's the idea? It's like this. One of my rebbeim once explained this to Shmuel Menachem Rabinaviki, who was a Rebbe Vine in Or Chaim, a wonderful Tam Chacham, and so he used to give a chumash shir on Erev Shabbos. We begged him to give like a parsha shir, so he used to give a shir. And one time he made such a beautiful ha'ara on this week's parsha. I'm not going to show you in the psukim now, but when you're following laning this week, I want you to pay attention to this. Yeah, every single time, he said, "What does it mean Baruch? What is Baruch and what's Arur?" He said, "Baruch means connected, connected to Hashem." Right? We know the lashon from the Shari Orish, a brecha, a wellspring. Baruch means connected. So Arur means disconnected, right? Not connected to Hashem, not plugged into Hashem, right? So he said, if you look through the parasha, every single time, thank you, wow.
Right.
Every single time that Eliezer refers to God, whether he is davening to God, whether he is thanking God, whether he is referring to God when he's talking to Lavan and saying, he always says, Elokei Adoni Avraham. He never refers to my God. He always refers to the God of my master Avram. My Rebbe said that's what it means. Arur, a person who's disconnected. That means Arur. But listen to this. Look what Rivali says about this. Such an unbelievable thing.
So it's another.
What he's saying?
It's another.
It wasn't another. He was saying it was as a criticism that a person is supposed to feel connected to Hashem, but his connection to Hashem on a certain level was only through Abraham. You know what I mean? I'm telling you.
You could take it at either level. If you think that Abraham is at such a high level, you say the God of Abraham is considered. If you think that he's already at such a level, then of course I know.
But a person has to have a personal relationship with Hashem, right? Our whole purpose of being here is that I can connect directly to Hashem, right? In our tefillos, we always say Elokeinu v'Elokei Avoseinu, right? Because I have to recognize that He's my personal connected
as
God.
well as ours.
You know what I mean? Again, I'm not criticizing Eliezer. Like I said, he's a serious, you know what I mean, in a serious league. But you see this on whatever level. On his level, there's this element of somewhat of a disconnect that seems to be there. That he and Chazal call him Arur. But listen to what Moshe David says. Again, he says that when Eliezer gets to Lavan's house and Lavan comes out to greet him and all these things, So he uses this interesting lashon lavan, and you have to understand. Ravali says, nothing happens ever by mikra, nothing happens ever by accident. Everything in life that a person hears, there's a reason, and even things that are said by rishayim or people that there's a reason that they said these words and these things. Everything happens for a reason. So he says, look what Lavan says. The famous thing when he saw all the gold and the bling. Yeah, so he got all excited. Ukeshamo as divrei Rivka choso lemar kod davar elai haish v'yavo leish. He saw the man standing there. V'yomer bo baruch Hashem lama tamo b'chutz v'anochi panisi abayis u'makom l'gmalim. Come here, O blessed of God. Right? Bo baruch Hashem. Come here, blessed by God. Yeah. So look what he says here. That because he plugged away, because Eliezer, even with all the nasionos that he had, and even being rejected by Avram, but he still also kept on going, didn't question, didn't have anything. Yeah, ubeschar zos nisbaser min haklipa atzma. Yeah, from the klipa itself, from the world of Tumah itself, it was announced to him shekvar nichnas laklal baruch v'lo yisparid od mitvekuso. That he made it in. He became connected, right? Like Eliezer got connected through this. That's what he says, and that's what it says. V'zeh sod bo baruch Hashem lo matamud b'chutz. Why are you still standing on the outside, Eliezer? You're no longer arur. Now you're baruch. Come on in. Come on inside. Bo baruch Hashem. Come.
And baruch is malchus.
It's connected. Yeah, of course. The connection. Klomer he kanes me'ata betocha kedusha. Come on in. You're welcome now into the kedusha. V'lo yavor od al daitcha v'asvarascha lios chutz. You used to be cursed, but no, you made it through. So again, it doesn't matter. The point is, the point. Anyway, he speaks about this. In Kabbalah, it's a very big thing that Lavan. His name is Lavan, right? He's white, and Lavan is the one that sets up, Yaakov with the sisters, and everything comes from Lavan. All you and me, everything, all the shvatim come from Lavan, right? Lavan is a very, very. But he's so high that he doesn't know what to do with it. So he's a Rasha in this world, but it's coming from a very high madrega, right? All of Klal Yisrael, all the shvatim are organized by Lavan. He's the one. So he has a very, very high place. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm saying even if it would be a Rasha, the point is that Hashem, especially if the Torah is pointing out what he said to him, there's a point to it. Where,
like Bilam.
Yeah, exactly, the same idea. And that's he says, so ki maisecha heim shekirvucha, your deeds brought you close, upinu lecha makom, they've cleared a way for you, likanis betocha kedusha. And that's what he says. Pinisi habayis, we've made room for you in the kedusha. That's what he says. Anyway, so you see this idea that getting a connection involves pushing through. That's dveikus to Hashem. That's avas Hashem. That's staying focused and not being swayed, not being thrown. By nisyonos and these things, nisyonos and nisyonos, that's what they're supposed to be difficult. But when we read into them and we just try to see, Hashem means this, or Hashem means that, or He's pushing me away, or He doesn't want my tefillah, He doesn't want this, then we're making a big error, making a big mistake. And the hashva achas is so beautiful that the Ramchal says, just the same, make my brachos the same, daven the same, do a mitzvahs the same. Yes, it's hard, it's difficult, but that's
we still say Baruch Ta'an Ha'emet when we
of course it's difficult. There's no question it's difficult, but not to read into it that Hashem is doing this to me, Hashem is doing that to me. You see, Amram Avinu wasn't. Again, of course, we have Lispo Tzara of Levkosa. He cried and he was sad that Tzara died, but he didn't see it as a rejection from God. He didn't see it as like it didn't affect his belief or his connection to Hashem. That's okay. We should be Zochar, Hashem.